Inherited characteristics are ones that you get from your parents via your genes. Genes are sections on chromosomes which code for a specific phenotype or characteristic. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, and it's the chemical on which all the information in your cells is stored. Nature versus nurture is the argument as to whether characteristics are inherited or whether they develop. Some things are obvious, like hair colour or skin colour. Some things are less obvious, like behaviours. Sexual reproduction involves two parents and an exchange of genetic information via gametes, which are sex cells and contain half the total number of chromosomes for the organism. Offspring will be different to the parent organisms. They will have slightly different characteristics. We call this sexual variation. Asexual reproduction only involves one parent. The offspring will not vary from the parent organism, and they will have exactly the same DNA, like clones. The first step in producing insulin from bacteria is that a special enzyme is used to cut the insulin gene out from a human chromosome. In a separate operation, a ring of bacterial DNA is cut open using a special enzyme. These two pieces of genetic material are combined together to form a new plasmid ring, which is inserted into the bacterium. That bacterium will then divide and produce a large population of bacteria which can produce insulin. There are two types of cloning. Embryonic cloning is where a very early stage embryo is broken up into individual cells. Those individual cells will then develop into embryos and then adults, so they can be implanted into separate surrogate mothers. Adult cell cloning is where DNA is taken from adult organisms, placed into an enucleated egg cell, or a cell that's had the nucleus taken out. That egg cell is then stimulated to start dividing. This will produce an embryo which is an exact clone of the adult organisms.